Cell phones at this time, but we know we need to leave anything behind. Certainly have enjoyed sharing part of our day with you and have many choices when you travel. Thank you so much for choosing Southwest Airlines today.
Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you so much.
Why, it's Annie, Franny, and Uncle Ben boarding the train for the trip with the family. We hear them discussing something about a dollar bet and who's paying who, where, and when. Conductor Rookie calls board and picks up the step and a wave to the lantern that signals to Father Chess to begin the trip. The big 700 releases a puff of steam. The fuel in the water tender's full. A steady hand on the engineer releases the brakes. The bell starts to ring and he moves the throttle forward. The train begins to move slowly toward the main line. Look again in the club car. They've all gathered to greet Fran and Van. They give us a big wave as they depart. Where will they go, you ask? I do not know, but it will be a long trip and time to visit, fish, and see wonderful places and eat at many beaneries. Beanery is a restaurant along the railroad track. When will they be back, you ask? Yes, they will. I do not know, but there will be new members to join the crew. Papa will bring the 700 engine and train in on time to collect the new passenger. We will gather once again to see them and send someone off to eternal trip and our loved ones who have boarded before. Yes, they will be back.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Dad's fondest wish came true this last 6 months since he died. He died September the 13th. And he's always, before that, wanted to live with one of us. And he has been living with me. John and Kat were married on September the 5th this last year. And so, of course, Dad wanted to go to the funeral, but he was unable. I mean, ceremony, but he was unable to. I kept saying to him, but Dad, everybody's coming into town, all your grandchildren and kids, and so we're all going to have a little family reunion the day after the wedding. So we did that. We went in on the 6th, the day after the wedding, and folks got to see him, and they got to see, and he got to see them, and everybody went back home, And that next Wednesday, I got a call from the Farmington Square to say that he'd had a stroke. And Van and Becky came right on back to Portland, and he was gone the next Sunday, a week after everybody was able to see him. So
I think what happened was that he passed away in September, and then he sat in Sid's closet for months,
was in the
and we just kind of, we didn't forget, but we just got on with life. And then this came up, and my daughter just last night said, "Mom, we've got to have something to put in his box with him." And I'm like, you know, we're leaving this morning, and so, you know, I if it wasn't for Allie who said, "Mom, you've got to bury him with dental floss because he's going to need it for eternity," because that's all he ever cared about, and that's all he did. At least 10 times a day, he'd just sit in dental floss because he was so bored. You know, he lost his sight years ago, and he couldn't walk anymore. So, yes, he did live a long life, but what was the quality at that point? It was not pleasant towards those last couple of years. And every time we'd go to visit him, "Dad, what would you like to do?" "I want to go out to the cemetery." And we'd say, "You'll be out there soon enough. Don't worry." You know, it was hard to get him out here. He couldn't walk. He couldn't. You know, he's in his wheelchair. So it kind of became a joke, and he'd laugh every time we'd say, "Well, we're not going today, but you're going to be out there soon enough." You know, and he'd laugh. That was so funny. But he's here. Here you are.
Have everybody sign it and the preacher bless. Not much, but
It's hard me the courage of stars before you left. How light carries on endlessly, even after death, with shortness of breath. You explain the infinite, how rare and beautiful it is to even exist. I couldn't help but ask you to say it all again. I tried to write it down, but I could never find a pen. I'd give anything to hear you say it one more time, that the universe was made just to be seen by my eyes. And I couldn't help but ask you to say it all again. I tried to write it down, but I could never find a pen. I'd give anything to hear you say it one more time, that the universe was made just to be seen by my eyes.
It does. I was thinking the same thing.
The shortness of breath, I'll explain the infinite, how rare and beautiful it truly is that we exist.